What is up, T.O.Gs? So, we have been working to get the family more involved with the channel. If you've already seen the first video in the series, we've got that one kid. And now we have the other kid. The smarter kid.
What?
No, we will just call her, for lack of a better term, we'll call her that one girl.
Alright, sounds good.
So that one girl will be a senior in high school in September or August, somewhere around there. How does that make you feel?
I feel like I have to grow up.
Nah, don't get trapped into that. I feel like I have to grow up all the time, but I have rebelled against it. So we're out here on the bike, and I think this might be the first time that that one girl has appeared on the channel.
I don't remember ever being on it before.
Alright, well, even if she's made an appearance in the form of just waving to the camera or something, that doesn't count. So this is her first time on the channel. So welcome to the channel. I love this sunflower field here, huh? Isn't that awesome? No? Don't like sunflowers?
They're pretty.
You're pretty.
Thanks.
So we've got that one girl on the bike. This is obviously not her first time on the bike, although she doesn't seem to remember the first time she's been on the KTM. But we're going to get her impressions regarding motorcycles, and we'll maybe learn a little bit more about that one girl and what makes her tick. But for now, let's start off with the first question, motorcycle related. Why do you think there are not a whole ton of female motorcycle riders?
I think it's partially history based in the way that when they were first on the market, it was mostly marketed towards men probably, and it's just really hard to undo history.
You're constantly trying to break the norms, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that have been kind of set in stone for a long time, and it's hard to break those once they become kind of what everyone's used to. We're going to jump right into question number 2 regarding motorcycles. Oh, I sure appreciate this person pulling out in front of us. Maybe they're a new driver. Speaking of new driver, how long have you had your license there now?
Only like a month.
A month. But she's a good driver. We trust her out there. And are you having fun driving out on your own?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, is it scary?
It can be.
So let's get into the other question regarding motorcycles, and they also related to women as well. But fairly recently we're seeing a trend, and women riders are on the upswing. So you're seeing more and more women learning to ride, more and more women getting their M1 endorsement. Why do you think that there are more women who are learning how to ride now?
I think it might be because there's more role models finally, and there's more ways for those role models to be seen, like on social media, like Moto Carry, for example. There's more people for women to look up to, and more examples of female motorists.
Oh, this road is closed, so that's not interesting. Whee! No, that's a great point. Social media has made it so you're not just seeing women riders on the road. You can see them in multitudes on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on the Twitter machine. Yeah, so it's a lot more accessible, and it makes it, would you say that makes you feel like there's more out there than, even if maybe let's say that there weren't more riders now than before, having that aspect of social media would make it seem that way anyway, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so next question is a little more personal and not so broad. Can you remember your first ride with your dad on the motorcycle?
I have like vague memory of emotions that went through my head, but it's not like specific memories.
Were one of those emotions like outright fear?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, we'll definitely get some B-roll up here for you so you can see the face that she made on her first ride. And it was just in a parking lot. I'm not even sure if we went out on the road with her. But that quickly, I mean, I don't know if you can remember this, but that quickly turned into joy and just sheer fun, because the look on your face like 5 minutes later was the polar opposite. Can you remember that?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was 5 minutes. The first like second that you started pulling out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall off the end. I can't even barely reach around and hold on. But after you started going and it wasn't just like trying to go forward initially, it actually felt like fun.
Cool. Yeah, I had so much fun with you that first time. It was the first time that either of my kids have ridden with me, and it was just exciting. It was exciting for me too, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you can look back on it somewhat fondly, because if that fear hadn't gone away after a little bit, I think I would have felt bad that I put you on the bike. So my other question regarding motorcycles and on a little more personal level, can you remember all of the bikes that I've had?
Not really. Like, I have very generic memory of like what they looked like, but it wasn't like I remember specifics about each one.
Okay, so the first bike was the Sportster, the 883R. It was orange. It had a checkered tank. Do you remember that? That was your first ride?
Yeah, I remember the orange bike. Okay,
and then there was the Iron, the 883, the black one. Black and white tank. And then the Fat Bob is still hanging around. You obviously remember that one.
Yeah.
And the first one was the Yamaha. You probably are too young to remember that. But of all the bikes that I've had, which one is your favorite to look at and why?
Well, I liked the orange one because I like bright colors. I like bold and contrast, so it appealed to me.
So out of all the bikes that you've ridden on with me, which one is your favorite to ride with me on?
I think it might have been the Fat Bob, just because it was very comfortable.
What do you think about riding with this one?
I feel way higher off the ground. It's very different.
In a bad way?
No, not in a bad way necessarily.
Is it nice that you're kind of looking over my shoulder now instead of looking at the back of my head?
Yeah, that is a benefit of riding higher.
Yeah, the seat's not as comfortable for sure, but it does have that material on it that makes you feel like you're not going to slip off though.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question again is a little more personal. Can you see yourself riding a motorcycle in your future?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that I could get into it in the future, just because I think it'd be fun, especially if you were to continue riding a motorcycle, to be able to ride alongside people.
Alongside people or me?
Specifically you.
Specifically me. And your boyfriend has an interest in riding too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be pretty cool if you guys both had bikes. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the last question that's related to motorcycles. If you are interested in getting into riding and you do ride in the future, at this point, what kind of bike would you ride? And why?
I think my primary concern if I were to get a motorcycle would be comfort, so I would want probably a cruiser.
A cruiser?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, cruisers definitely are the most comfortable bike to ride, and for a first bike I would highly recommend a cruiser. So if you're out there and you're considering a first bike, I would highly recommend a cruiser. You know, you don't have to start off with like a 250 or a tiny little 125 engine or something like that, but you know, you all got to start somewhere, and I think the most important thing isn't just comfort, but also just what you are comfortable on. Well, I mean like your skill level. What matches your skill set, what matches your taste, because that's the other thing you have to think about when you buy your first bike is, you know, are you gonna like it? Are you gonna like the way it looks? Are you gonna like the way you look on it? And I know you're not super vain, but have you thought about like how the bikes look? Do you like the way cruisers look?
Yeah, I like the style. Because Fat Bob, I like that aesthetic. I wouldn't personally go for black. That's why it wasn't my favorite one to look out of your bikes personally.
Right, so that first bike that you mentioned, my 883R, the orange one, that's still a cruiser. So I mean, cruisers come in lots of different sizes and shapes and colors. So yeah, I mean, there's a whole big variety in just that style of bike. So I mean, that's another one of the cool things I think about cruisers, is that more so I think than sport bikes. I know a lot of people, when they see sport bikes, they think they all look the same. Would you say that to an extent?
in terms of identifying them, it's easy to just group all of them in the same look, but it's broader than a lot of people realize, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's good. Hey, that's my daughter. All right, so we've answered all the motorcycle related questions that I wanted to ask you on this video, but just on a more personal side, we know that you're going to be a senior in high school. We know that motorcycles have some place in your life. Even if you don't end up riding one, you'll still ride with your dad. But what else is there about that one girl that you want us all to know?
I just love being creative. It doesn't really matter what it is, whether it's like dancing or drawing or simply writing. It's just, I like being creative and expressing myself.
And by the way, this girl here has been expressing her creativity on paper, on canvas, on the dance floor for how long now? How long have you been doing ballet?
Since I was 4, I believe.
Since she was 4 years old. And how long have you been drawing? Probably the same amount of time, if not longer.
Yeah, I don't know when I started. I've been drawing as long as I can remember.
Yeah, and now you're getting into other mediums as far as art goes, correct?
Yeah.
What's your favorite one right now?
I like using like Prismacolors or color pencils because they're just very easy to work with and very versatile.
Nice. Have you ever thought about, like, I've seen certain artists on YouTube using like color pencils, and they also use like pens in the same drawing.
Yeah,
have you ever thought about that?
I actually really do use mixed medium pretty often. I like to combine colored pencil with ink because some aspects are easier to do with other things than colored pencil.
Alright, so is there anything else you wanted my throngs and hordes of subscribers and fans out there to know about that one girl? That was sarcasm, by the way.
I don't think so.
I very much enjoy the fact that I've been one of her dance teachers now for, this is going on year 6. It's just been something that I've really appreciated doing. I don't know how much you enjoy going to hip-hop, but I enjoy every week teaching you and teaching your sister and having you guys in class. How have you felt about hip-hop these past 5 years?
It's one of my favorite classes. It's very different than what I'm used to, and it's allowed me to broaden my horizons.
Nice. See, she's so articulate. Where does she get that from? I don't know. Alright, so what's one of your favorite things about dancing? Why do you love it so much?
I don't have to talk, but I can still tell a story.
You can still express yourself without having to open your mouth?
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's another reason, one of the reasons that you love writing.
Absolutely.
So this is just time for that one guy to brag a little bit. But that one girl, how old were you when you started writing your book?
I don't remember my age, but I think I was in the one that I'm working on now. The idea came starting in about 4th grade, but I started writing when I was in 1st grade.
So yeah, I'm talking about in that little book that you wrote. You know what I'm talking about, right? You had that little book and you were like filling the book up with your story.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. That started in 1st grade.
I think that one was 4th grade.
Yeah, so yeah, again, that's my daughter. So if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask that one girl or myself, make sure you leave it in the comments. We'll answer them in future videos. Because this will not be the last time, even though this is the first time you're meeting that one girl. This won't be the last time. So make sure you leave it in the comments if you've got anything to ask her, myself, and we'll make sure that we answer those in future videos. We're gonna do one quick round of Try Not to Laugh, That One Guy Dad Jokes edition. The prize for winning this round of Try Not to Laugh is my unconditional love. That's a good prize, right?
Sure. This is gonna be hard.
Oh, are you serious? Your sister had no problem with this for some reason.
I know, but I am a happy person.
Okay, here we go. Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
I don't know why.
Because it's pointless.
This is a good point.
Wait, did you just laugh?
No.
No. Oh, dang it.
Haha.
Second dad joke. So I was sitting in traffic the other day. It's probably why I got run over.
You got run over.
It's very literal, as most dad jokes are. Okay, are you ready
Yep.
for the next one?
Yep.
Sometimes I tuck my knees into my chest and lean forward. That's how I roll.
This is very true.
Oh, you're doing a lot better than I thought you would.
Yes.
You ready for the last one? This one might get you, I think. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
A pterodactyl?
Yeah,
Why not?
because the P is silent. No? Oh, come on. Oh, you are the winner.
Yes.
Congratulations. What are you going to do next?
What?
We now return to your regular programming.
But guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead, tell them to smash it.
Smash the subscribe button.
Guys, if you're out there riding, be safe. And if you're not riding, get riding. I'm that one guy, and I am out.